The United States Supreme Court stands as the nation's highest legal authority, a symbol of justice and the final word on constitutional matters. Its imposing building in Washington, D.C., is more than just a landmark. It represents the enduring principles of law and equality that shape American society. The court holds the immense power to interpret the Constitution, resolve disputes, and ultimately shape the course of American life. Every major legal question, from civil rights to government authority, can find its way to these 9 justices. With 9 justices appointed for life, the court's decisions ripple through generations, impacting everything from individual freedoms and liberties to the boundaries of government power. Their rulings are not just legal opinions, they become the law of the land. The Supreme Court's influence extends to defining the limits of presidential and congressional authority, often settling disputes between the branches of government and clarifying the Constitution's meaning in modern times. As a crucial check on the executive and legislative branches, the court maintains the delicate balance of power at the heart of American democracy, ensuring that no branch becomes too powerful or oversteps its bounds. A single Supreme Court ruling can validate or strike down laws, executive orders, and government actions, setting legal precedents that affect millions of Americans for decades to come. These decisions can change the course of history. Its recent 8-1 decision has sent shockwaves through the federal government, directly addressing the scope of presidential power and the future of the civil service. The implications reach far beyond the courtroom, touching the lives of public employees and citizens alike. For federal employees and the public, this is not just a legal technicality. It's a turning point that could redefine how government work is done and how public services are delivered. The outcome may influence job security, accountability, and the very nature of public service in America. The justices' interpretations often differ, leading to split decisions that reflect deep philosophical divides. These disagreements are not just academic, they shape the direction of the country and the rights of its people. Powerful dissents and passionate opinions become part of the court's legacy, influencing future cases and public debate for years to come. This latest verdict raises fundamental questions about who governs, how power is exercised, and what protections exist for both government workers and the public. It marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing story of American democracy. Understanding the Supreme Court's role is essential to grasping the stakes of this historic decision, and to appreciating how its judgments continue to shape the nation's future. In a landmark move that will be studied for years to come, the Supreme Court voted 8-1 in favor of a decision that could reshape the federal government as we know it. The justices gave President Trump the green light to proceed with a sweeping executive order, one that mandates mass layoffs across federal agencies and departments. This order, which has sparked heated debate nationwide, is now set to move forward. The Supreme Court's ruling lifts previous blocks from lower courts, clearing the path for the administration to begin immediate reductions in force. While legal challenges are expected to continue in the months ahead, the government can now start implementing these changes without delay. In a surprising twist, 2 liberal justices joined the conservative majority, underscoring just how complex and far-reaching the legal questions are in this case. Their alignment signals that the issues at stake go beyond traditional partisan lines. The majority opinion strongly affirmed the president's executive authority, making it clear that this decision is rooted in constitutional interpretation rather than simple party politics. The ruling is likely to have ripple effects on how future presidents wield their power. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, the sole dissenter, issued a powerful warning. She described the decision as a wrecking ball aimed at the very structure of government, cautioning that it could open the door to dangerous overreach by the executive branch. For millions of Americans, this ruling means that dramatic changes to federal agencies are now imminent. The effects could be felt in nearly every aspect of daily life, from public health and safety to education, environmental protection, and beyond. With this decision, the Supreme Court has cleared the way for a transformation of the federal workforce on an unprecedented scale, ushering in a new era for the nation's government and its people. This legal battle began with President Trump's February 2025 executive order, directing all federal agencies to prepare for large-scale layoffs. Tech billionaire Elon Musk, appointed to lead the Department of Government Efficiency, brought a disruptive, data-driven approach to identifying redundancies. The administration argued the civil service was bloated and resistant to change, framing the layoffs as a necessary step to fulfill campaign promises and restore presidential authority. Supporters saw this as draining the swamp. Critics called it an unconstitutional purge of nonpartisan experts. Unions and good governance advocates warned the plan would cripple essential services and undermine the expertise that keeps government running. This fundamental clash set the stage for a high-stakes legal showdown. Lawsuits from federal unions quickly challenged Trump's order, arguing only Congress can restructure the federal workforce. 2 federal judges issued injunctions, halting layoffs at multiple agencies and the Department of Education. These rulings were celebrated as vital protections for the civil service. The administration, frustrated by delays, petitioned the Supreme Court for an emergency stay, arguing the injunctions harmed the president's ability to manage the executive branch. They claimed inherent Article 2 powers to oversee and dismiss federal employees. Seeking a rare emergency intervention, the administration gambled on a swift Supreme Court decision to clear the way for its plan. The justices were asked to intervene before lower courts finished their review. The stage was set for a decisive Supreme Court confrontation. The Supreme Court's unsigned majority opinion gave the Trump administration a procedural win, allowing layoffs to proceed while litigation continues. The majority signaled deference to presidential authority over the executive branch, viewing the issue as technical, rather than political. Justices Sotomayor and Kagan joined the majority, underscoring the case's complexity. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson's dissent called the decision a grave error, warning it could irreparably damage the civil service and upend the separation of powers. She argued the stakes were too high to allow such a radical experiment before its legality was settled. Her dissent highlighted a deep divide over the scope of presidential power and the judiciary's role. This split marks a pivotal moment in the ongoing debate over executive authority. The Supreme Court's decision will immediately impact tens of thousands of federal workers and their families, sending shockwaves through communities across the country. For many, these jobs are more than just a paycheck. They represent stability, purpose, and a commitment to serving the public good. Agencies from the EPA to Health and Human Services now face sweeping staff cuts, threatening the expertise and stability of public services. The loss of skilled professionals could undermine the very foundations of agencies tasked with protecting our environment, health, and welfare. These are not just bureaucrats, they're scientists, policy experts, and frontline workers whose jobs are on the line. Their daily work ensures clean air and water, safe workplaces, and the smooth operation of countless government programs that millions rely on. Essential functions like food safety, social security, and national security could be disrupted by the loss of experienced personnel. When these roles go unfilled, the consequences ripple outward, affecting families, businesses, and the nation's security. Institutional knowledge built over decades may vanish overnight, risking delays, errors, and a decline in service quality. The expertise lost is not easily replaced, and the learning curve for new hires can be steep and costly. The efficiency gained by payroll cuts could be offset by costs to public health, safety, and economic stability. Communities may face longer wait times for essential services, and the nation could see increased risks during emergencies or economic downturns. This decision forces a national debate. Is the civil service a bloated deep state or a vital pillar of good governance? The answer will shape not only policy, but the very fabric of American democracy. The coming layoffs will test these competing visions in real time, as communities and agencies struggle to adapt to a new reality. The results will shape the future of public administration and the relationship between citizens and their government, determining how well our institutions can serve and protect the public in the years ahead. The Supreme Court's ruling sparked immediate polarized reactions. The White House celebrated it as a landmark victory, claiming it validated the president's authority to reshape government. Allies like Steve Bannon hailed the decision as a breakthrough for presidential power and accountability. For them, the ability to fire federal employees is key to making government responsive to voters. Unions and advocacy groups condemned the ruling as a blow to democracy and a threat to a nonpartisan civil service. They warned of chaos in public services and vowed to continue their legal fight in lower courts. Despite the setback, they promised to defend the jobs and integrity of federal workers. The stark divide in reactions underscores the high-stakes, winner-take-all nature of this constitutional battle. The Supreme Court's 8-1 ruling is not the final word on Trump's layoff plan. It simply lifts the injunctions while legal battles continue. The core question, can a president unilaterally overhaul the civil service without Congress, remains unresolved. Unions will keep fighting in lower courts, seeking a final judgment on the order's constitutionality. This decision stands out for its immediate impact on the structure of American democracy and the separation of powers. The outcome will determine whether the civil service remains a stable, non-partisan body or becomes subject to political turnover. Every American now faces a choice about what kind of government they want. As layoffs begin and legal challenges continue, the nation will watch closely. The resolution of this conflict will define presidential power and public service for generations.